Welcome to r/malicious compliance. To piggyback off of an earlier, take all your stuff home. We are letting you go. So, January 19th I was told, when I clocked in that half of the machine operators on day shift, all of night shift and half of the maintenance staff are getting cut loose. Gather up all of my stuff, so they can go through my toolbox, and get it loaded. So I got everything all situated, got my 3 golf carts and the one I repaired back in the maintenance shop. The one I repaired had been sitting in the back of the shop for a long time, since I bought myself 3 carts that didn't work and needed fixing up. I went ahead and fixed the company one too. On my dime. One of the bosses asked why I took his golf cart, one I had bought, and what was I doing. Explained that I was laid off with most everyone else, and taking all my stuff home he went to jump on the company owned one, and I told him I needed to get my stuff off of it first. I put the 4 flat tires back on and took my variable speed controller out. I offered to sell any or all back to them or purchase the company one, but they declined. Cool with me. Made my 4 trips home with my stuff. I now have 2 carts on Craigslist for sale and will be keeping the 3rd. On call but required to take unpaid lunch, so we turned our phones off. Let me explain the dynamics of the job before I get into the malicious compliance. We were on call 24/7, but expected to work 80% productivity between the hours of 8 AM to 5 PM MF. Some employee turned the company in for not giving us lunch breaks as required by law. Keep in mind we all drove all over the place, many times hundreds of miles from home. None of us wanted to take a 60-minute lunch when it was more convenient to get fast food and eat while driving to the next call and shorten our day. So thanks to our snitch we are now required to take a lunch. We started off by not taking lunches, but padding our timesheets out an hour and faking we took one in the middle of the day. We got caught doing that, and we are told we had to stop and take 1 hour for lunch, even if it meant sitting in a fast food parking lot for an hour. We quickly realized that 1 hour not paid was full of work, phone calls, dispatches, emails, so we complained we were working for free. Finally management said working for free was our choice. So we collectively decided to turn our phones off when we stopped to eat. Our dispatchers wait 20 minutes before trying another tech. So every day for 1 hour the calls would go unanswered, bouncing from tech to tech, and you couldn't reach the tech because their phone was off. Management finally clued in and relaxed the lunch requirement, stating we should take it, but ultimately it's our choice if we want one or not. But we have to answer our phones because we are 24/7 on call. Some guys kept taking the lunch with their phones off as a big screw you, but most went back to eating and driving. Also, we didn't get on call pay with that job, if anyone was curious. It's commuting time. Okay, this happened a couple of years ago when I worked in the public sector. We had one main office and several smaller offices, each about a 30/60-minute train ride away. I rented a flat literally a 10-minute walk from the main office, so commuting was super quick, and I had a really good work-life balance. Occasionally, I had meetings at the other offices. On those days, I would get the train to the other office and work there for the day. I put the time it took to travel on my timesheet, since I figured I was traveling for work and outside of my usual commute. I didn't get paid overtime or anything, but we could claim additional work time back as extra days off. Somehow, my grad supervisor, not my boss, who had no issue with the timesheeting, found out about this and called me into a meeting to explain that if I was working in another office for the day, then the time it took to get there was commuting time and not working time. However, if I just went to the meeting and worked the rest of the day in my usual office, it was work travel. I think you can see where this is going. I used to come into the main office, work for 5 minutes, and then head to the other offices for the rest of the day. Drove grad manager mad, but she couldn't say anything about it, since I was following her rules. Store policy against school uniform? I have no shame. Obligatory. This was a friend of mine, and happened a few years ago now. Also, we are Australian and the legal drinking age here is 18. My friend had just turned 18, and, as is tradition, she went down to the bottle shop to buy her own alcohol for the first time, legally anyway. She went in after school, still in her uniform, and was refused service due to store policy, which was apparently that they can't sell to anyone in school clothes, even if they are of legal age and show proper ID. So, what does she do? Goes back outside, takes her uniform off, and walks back in wearing only the booty shorts she had on under her school skirt, her bra and an open cardigan thrown over the top. Needless to say, she got to buy her alcohol that day. You want all the yellow flowers we have? No problem. It's that time of year for flower shops, and I recently saw a guest who hasn't been to the shop since the events of this story from a couple years ago. I'm on mobile, so sorry for any formatting weirdness, and everything is paraphrased and possibly embellished since this is an older story and I told it a lot for a good month or so after the fact. I know the dollar amount is about right, at least. I was freshly cross-trained onto the sales floor of my flower shop and had just started answering the phones by the registers. Incoming phone calls from guests are set up to go to the phone center lines first, but forward to the floor if no one answers. I was the lucky one to answer a particularly grumpy regular. We'll call May. May already had issues with me because I was new, and I had issues with her because I don't let people walk all over me, customer or not. She also was generally a problematic customer. I was just her current target for being new. The phone call goes something like this. Me, local flower shop. This is Potato speaking. How may I help you? May, Potato? No, I need someone else. Me, I'm sorry, no one else is available. A lie, but no one was near a phone. How can I help you, May? May, I need yellow flowers. Me, what kind of flowers? May, just yellow flowers. Are you so slow you don't know what yellow flowers are? Me, well, we have a large selection of yellow. May, you know what, just give me all of them. Me, all of them? May, are you deaf? Yes, all of them. And charge it to my card on file, so I can just grab them and go. At this point, I wave over the sales manager and switch the call to speaker so he can hear it. Me, okay, so just clarifying, May, that you want all of the yellow flowers we have in stock, and May, yes, and charge it to my card. I've wasted enough time talking to you about it. I don't want to wait for my receipt at the counter. I'll be there in 2 hours. I raise an eyebrow at the sales manager. He gives me a bewildered thumbs up and head nod, and I tell her we'll have it ready. Sales manager and I then proceed to pull roses, spray roses, chrysanthemums, snapdragons, literally hundreds of bunches of flowers. We are the biggest florist in the state, and we get the mums in boxes of 24, and never less than 15 boxes a week, so that honestly took up majority of it. The entire time, sales manager is saying how May will never actually take all of this, but he doesn't like people sassing off to his workers, so he was more than willing to play along. He did have the foresight to not charge her card, as when we finished ringing everything up it came to a whopping $1,000 plus order. Between the two of us, and some helping hands here and there, some of the other sales clerks learned what happened. It took a good portion of those 2 hours to get everything together, and sales manager had to leave before we were finished to handle a different matter. May comes in, already glaring at me, and asks where her order is. I smile at her and gesture at the 20 or so buckets of yellow flowers surrounding the pickup area. It honestly looked like a display, we had so many buckets. While she's doing her best imitation of a suffocating fish, I tell her as nicely as possible, I just wanted to check that you wanted this order charged to one card, since $1,000 is a lot of money. You could hear her brain short circuit before she went beet red and said, this isn't what I meant. Where is sales manager? I call him over on the radio, and sure enough, as soon as he comes over he's asking May if we pulled enough yellow flowers and that we had more coming in early tomorrow morning if she wanted them. She starts stuttering about how this isn't what she ordered and how incompetent Potato is, etc. until sales manager says, Potato confirmed with you that you wanted all of the yellow flowers in stock, and these are all of the yellow flowers in stock. If you wanted specific flowers or quantities you would have to specify those with our sales clerk when placing your order. At this point she grabs an armful of daisies and some roses and stomps off to the registers. The store got a rather nasty email with me mentioned by name about my incompetency and rude behavior, but sales manager corroborated my side of the story. Cameras showed I at least appeared nothing but friendly the whole interaction, and a number of other incidents regarding this particular guest basically ended with an "if you can't be nice to our workers, don't shop here" responding email. We were scolded for wasting 2 hours when we knew she wouldn't take all of it and there were other things to do, but we did exactly what the customer said, so not much else happened repercussion wise. That was r/malicious compliance, and if you liked this video hit that subscribe button.